gear changes there, actually.
Really?
Just let the car do the work, it's fine.
Really?
The question is, do we actually really even need to introduce this vehicle? Because we really don't.
We don't.
Yes.
This is the exact same car that gave me a hiding in the Mercedes E63 S.
Oh,
AMG.
yes.
Exact same car.
Who was driving again by this car?
Your mom was driving.
My mom?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You mean your mom? Because last I checked, you lost that race. But the whole thing about this, and the whole reason why we're not on a racetrack, is because every other M5 review you've seen has been on the racetrack. And the reality of the situation is, this car will not live on a racetrack.
Yeah.
It's going to live on these kind of roads.
Yeah. It's going to live where it's going to live from A to B.
Yes.
How people use it. And it's got the ability of being two cars in one.
Yes.
Because yes, you put it into drive, you switch off all the funny gizmos, you put it into normal comfort mode, and it's as comfortable as a 530 diesel.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that BMW, in my opinion, have got so right with this car. Previous ones, number one, wanted to kill you. So you wouldn't survive, in the rain with cold tires. But now you've got a car that's so complete.
Yeah.
At a flick of a button, it's now a comfortable sedan. I mean, and I saw this over the weekend.
Yeah.
Drove with my kid, my wife, and it'll happily live and just drive normally.
Yeah.
And then at a flick of a button,
Becomes a different car.
it becomes a way different car.
You say it kind of reminds you of a 530 diesel.
Yeah.
Okay. The whole thing though about
Why is that funny?
no. People who know why it's funny will know why it's funny.
Oh, okay.
But the main thing for me, after my impressions after driving this car, is so I've been fortunate. Obviously, I've driven this car and I've driven the competition as well. I drove that car. Yes. Just let Richard sort out his call.
Yeah.
But your phone's also not on silent.
It actually is on silent. It just rang through the Bluetooth. I don't know if you realize that those sort of things do exist. Silent does not work with Bluetooth.
Oh, okay.
Is there something new for you?
No. I don't drive these cars on a personal basis. These fancy vehicles. So
Really?
all I know.
What were you just saying to everyone now?
Oh, well, I was saying that whilst we're doing that, I drove this car I drove the competition in Spain, and it's funny, you drive the competition, you drive this car, and honestly speaking, in terms of performance-wise, I can't understand why you would need anything else. And the reason why I'm going to justify the point that I'm making, if you look at a guy who's going to afford a 1.8 million rand car naked, so this car was spec is 2.2 million rand.
Yeah.
Think about all the people you know. Fortunately, we know some guys who drive cars like Ferraris, Lamborghinis, and all that. And the thing about those kind of cars is that you drive them. Those guys who own those cars probably drive those cars 3 to 4 times a month. But the thing about this car is that you can drive it all the time.
All the time.
You can, like you say, you have your child in the back. You
Yeah.
can drive it comfortably. You can drive it fast, and it's almost becoming a thing where the segment as a whole is kind of taking away from the supercar, because you've got supercar performance and then some, and you've still got the practicality. And it's not as if you're missing out on the feeling, because let's be honest with ourselves, most of the people who are going to drive a car like this aren't going to drive it to its limits, because if you drive it to its limits, you're going to come off.
You're gonna be arrested.
Yes, and that's the reason why they made it 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just chatting to the editor of Top Gear magazine, and he was saying how if this car was still 2-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive, it would be the equivalent of giving a child a flamethrower.
It would be. And
Yes.
you saw that I spent a lot of time in the previous gen.
Yeah.
Competition, whatever, what you're gonna have the privilege of driving them for quite some time. But the thing was about that car is that if you did not respect that car, especially in June where it's nice and cold and where you had worn tires, you would come pipe in that car.
Yeah.
That car was almost almost like running around the house with a very, very sharp knife.
Yeah.
You either could do it or you could really hurt someone, and in other case you would hurt other people as well.
Yes.
So that was the issue with why are we stopping?
Because I haven't driven yet. I was just wondering why. I was just like, this is actually it's a bit pointless because I haven't driven. So we just thought that swap.
Okay, let's let it go. Or I could just leave it and do this. You see, that's the problem with being a younger brother, is that you fall for things like this.
As Kevin Hart said, are you done? Are you done?
I am done.
Are
Thank
you done?
I'm done. Thank you.
Also, I love the fact that if I just press 1 like this, it goes back to my normal setting, because I was the first person who drove this car, and the motorist rules that the first person who drives the car gets to set the manual 1 setting.
So I just want to ask you, my setting's set for 2, so I mean it's just a millimeter towards the.
Would you rather be number 1 or number 2? See,
Yeah.
that's my whole thing. And okay, before we set off, talk about setup. You've got M1 and M2 mode that you can set it however way you want to set it. I've set M1 mode. If I confirm like that, the engine Sport Plus, damping in comfort, and the steering in sport. Reason for that is because you do not need the damping to be in Sport Plus. It doesn't make any sense. It's just a little bit too hard, especially for normal everyday driving.
You don't need the steering to be in what you call it as well.
I think it's a bit too light.
No.
If it's, I mean, it's ridiculous. But you know what gets me? It's not actually the first few gears of acceleration. It's when you're running through 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th.
Yes.
Because it's just bam, bam, bam,
Yeah.
bam, bam.
So, someone I drove with actually said the perfect thing. He said it's almost like being in a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Because it gives you that sensation that, you know, the horizon almost like it appears so quickly in front of you. Because it's ridiculous.
I mean, it's that. But the scary thing is that, I mean, that is insane. Oh, the crazy thing about
the
that.
good thing is that we got ceramics because there's a hump, as you can see.
Hump? What hump? Oh, that one. I didn't actually feel it as well. But the whole thing is that.
Okay, we're trying to talk here. Let's what you call this.
You just changed my.
Yes, I
gears
did.
for me.
Yes.
How disrespectful. Do you understand? I mean, really. The whole thing about this, you actually even put it into 8th. You didn't even just even drive. I mean, 8th, I feel like I'm on a bicycle here. We are in bicycle country. The whole thing is that this is also an automatic gearbox. It's not a double clutch. It's not. And to be honest with you, if you didn't know and you didn't tell the person, whoever's going to buy this car, that it's automatic, they wouldn't know until they have to park.
Yes.
Because parking a double clutch gearbox
It was a mission.
is something else. You literally,
Such
you
a
can lock
mission.
your safety belt.
Oh my goodness!
to
I don't
your
know why you had to sit with your seat so close up like a glove.
What's
I mean,
wrong with my seat?
really?
What's wrong with my seat? Was it too tight?
Yes, it was too tight. It was sit for midget size.
No, I'm just wondering because I mean, if I look at circumference
Is
wise,
it?
I think I'm in a. I thought that was my car. I'm in a little bit of a different position to you, so
Really?
a tighter seat doesn't affect me as much as it might affect you. I'm just saying.
Also,
I mean-
did you put the booster seat on for you?
oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine.
okay.
I always
thought-
say it goes back to 5'7", perfect height for all things.
Are you
automotive.
American? 5'7".
No.
Let's just carry on with the car because you're just talking nonsense.
Okay, but the whole thing is the biggest debate that everyone has when it comes to this car, and we're not going to delve into it too much. I've heard the criticism of an M5 because obviously not everything's going to be perfect.
Yeah.
For me, I think this car obviously is very close to being exactly what I would want out of a car, even though I don't have a family, a big family or anything like that. It's just myself. But I do like the fact that I've got added space. But one thing that I will say, I like the fact that, because I've heard that they said, no, it's not nice the fact that it's a bit 530D like when you're driving it normally. I think having something that's on edge all the time doesn't work for this application.
It doesn't.
And that's my whole thing behind it, because the Mercedes AMG E63S, that is an absolute weapon.
Yeah.
There's no doubts about that.
And I'm just waiting to pee. I just want to put that up.
Who?
That man over
Was
there
that man
just passed.
peeing?
Yeah, pee.
I mean,
So,
we're
yeah.
in the open bushes at the end of the day. But the whole thing about that is that I like the rawness of the E63S.
Yes.
And I honestly think it boils down to the point of it being personal preference.
And I was going to say the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Because you can't say one car's bad.
Better than the other.
You can. It depends on what you want.
Yes.
But you can't say one car's bad because they're both excellent cars.
Yes.
If you're really going to cherry pick this car, I've never been a fan of this configuration of how BMW has intertwined the exhaust manifold for it to make this sort of noise. It's almost a Ferrari sort of noise, but it's not sort of it doesn't sound like a V8. And in
Yes.
terms of noise, E63 wins that debate all day, every day.
Yeah. But also, in terms of look, I mean, have you seen what an E63S
Yeah,
looks like?
no, it's true. It looks like a thug.
Yes.
It looks like a thug.
It's definitely, and how crazy is that Mercedes, that was like
Yeah.
the gentleman's car,
Yeah.
is actually the more gangster looking
Yes,
car.
not true.
If
True.
you pull up, you're
Yeah.
pulling up Skur much more.
These young people pulling
I
up
mean, I'll probably-
Skur.
if you want to pull up Skur, you're gonna
drive an E63, yeah.
When that's
Yeah.
gonna be like the thing that says,
Yeah, no,
okay,
that's
cool,
true.
this guy's arrived.
Yeah.
But I definitely think, and I mean, also we can't have the conversation to say dynamically what's better as well. Yes, it's a different kind of setup, but I must say, I don't know. It's so difficult to choose. So much so you could actually, dare I say it, have both.
Not a lot of people live in the fantasy world where they have both cars like this.
We're automotive journalists. We always live in fantasies worlds. We drive 250,000 rand car perfect in our normal lives,
Yeah.
but we cruise around in 2.2 million rand
No,
cars.
that's true. That's
but
true.
again, 2.2 million.
Yeah. No, that.
2.2 million.
No, but you know,
rand.
and basically, it comes down to bragging rights. You know,
Yeah.
do you want to be seen as a guy who I own an E63 or I own an M5?
Yeah.
But this car's perfect. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie to you. And I know a lot of people say, "Oh, you're biased to BMW." It's not that I'm biased to BMW. I just find their vehicle suits my driving style.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I find. There's nothing wrong with the Mercedes. There's nothing wrong with the BMW. I'd easily have either or.
Yeah.
But in terms of a driving tool that I prefer how it feels, I take this car.
I think these cars are actually becoming the best bargains in the segment. Oh, that was a bit hard.
Yeah, that was a bit hard.
Because for 2.2 million, you're getting a family car and you're getting a supercar. Because let's be honest, we are in supercar territory
No,
in terms
easy.
of the performance.
Easy.
So you're actually getting two cars in one.
In one.
For 2.2 million.
Yeah.
Yes, obviously, if you've got more money and you want to spend 4, 5, 6 million rand on a supercar, you can
Then
do
yes.
that. But at the end of
And
the day,
still, this car will stand toe to toe with many a supercar in that league.
yes. But at the end of the day, these things are honestly becoming the new age supercar. And at the end of the day, I mean, I'm not going to complain. I wouldn't mind driving one of these. I wouldn't.
There's only one thing that's wrong with this car, personally for me.
What?
It's not Donington Grey.
I like Snapper Rocks, bro.
What did I say to you when I looked at the mirror when I was driving the other car? Oh, look, a 4 Series is behind me. My thing is, if you're going to buy an M or you're going to buy a specialist car, rather have it in that specialist color.
Squirrel.
Okay.
Oh.
Have it in that specialist color because it stands out a lot more. Yes, this color stands out, but you got the exact same color in a 4 Series and in a 4 Series Grand Coupe and that sort of thing. So I don't like the shared color thing.
Yeah.
Give me a Donington Grey one. Dare I say it? Give me a competition pack, even though you would not really need to just
Competition.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
a competition. Make up your mind, BMW.
Package.
Uh,
I wonder what Sam actually thinks. Sam, oh, he's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it would be nice to hear what Sam has got to say about this whole situation.
Hey, bruh, you know what I was thinking, bruh? I think this car, it's excellent, but you know me, bruh. I'm a Mercedes guy, and I like the Merc, I like the noise.
But if
the
Sam was
front
here,
end, the front
this
end.
car would also be on his roof. Oh,
That's a big claim.
no.
Sam, what are you
because
saying is
Sam
that you can't drive, bro?
No, I'm saying Sam's the hooligan of us all.
Yeah, I know,
One
that's
thing
true.
that I will say, in the last 7 days of us driving this car, I've only put this car in two-wheel drive mode once. And that's to kind of get a sense of the grip levels in two-wheel drive mode. But after experiencing that, and the car kind of just snaking on you like random bits, I honestly don't feel for it. In everyday driving, I don't feel like, oh,
No,
okay,
you
I
wouldn't.
must, because in four-wheel drive sport, the way we set it up, because we're riding in four-wheel drive sport, DSC off, but it's still got enough grip to save you, but give you a little bit of play, but not enough for you to kind of, no. I mean, they're honest.
These are the heroes that the insurance be like. Sorry, Baba. Insurance is with decline. Yeah? We
Why?
just checked that DSC was off.
No, but I
please
got four-wheel
explain.
drive.
Please explain DSC off.
No,
What
but
we're doing.
four-wheel drive.
So, most SUVs are four-wheel drive. Do you see me driving in my personal SUV? Do I drive with DSC off?
No.
Do I get in there with DSC off?
So why
I'm
do
a
they give us-
hero
Why do they give us the option of switching it off then?
of driving enthusiastically. Are you going to drive enthusiastically in Santon traffic?
Yes.
Yes, you're an idiot sometimes. You know that.
Anyways, overall, the segment's very good. Very good cars. And we can go on all day about this. But we'll just leave you with a parting gift, which is... And it's a car. That's the reality also of having this kind of power, is that you don't actually use it as much as you think you will.
Yeah. Horizons appear very, very, very good.
Yep.
Cool. That's enough from us.